Clock on the dot. I'm first morning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week in the mornings, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, and hopefully get your day started off on the right note. And also, he's saying good morning. If you already say hello to Landon, say good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, sweet buddy. Hopefully get your day started off with a smile as well. Let's talk about the top two things that we are watching this morning, all right? First off, continuing heat. We hit 98 degrees yesterday in Orlando, and you can see there on the bottom of your screen, these forecast highs are kind of in that same ballpark for today. We'll be certainly talking about that. We're also tracking the tropics just to make sure there's nothing getting too fresh out there. Certainly we'll keep you updated in all of those things and hopefully bring a smile to your face. So hopefully you're starting the day off in a nice note, but let me tell you, it is yet again hot, hazy, and humid. There's a live look outside on our Tower Cam network. There's a shot at Epcot. And just look in the distance. It's not foggy, but we still have that Saharan dust in the atmosphere. That Saharan dust, those dust particles have helped to dry up our atmosphere, but it is also giving us that haze. And I would also go so far as to say that the air quality has been a bit lower than we're used to. And so as is such, sensitive breathers, we're talking about folks with asthma and things of the like, may have some issues. So just keep that in mind, okay? Okay. Kelly, good morning to you. Tina, Taylor, good morning. My phone doesn't like me this morning. It's another day in paradise, right? Good morning to you. Nancy, good morning. Is it just me or is the audio out of sync? I don't know. It looks okay, but I don't know. Okay. Jessica says not for me. All right. Yeah, maybe get out and get back in. I apologize. It is a hot, hazy, humid forecast, so let's talk temperatures. And you can see, again, we're cycling them on the bottom of your screen. 80 already at 8 o'clock in Orlando. It is 80 degrees in Sanford, 78 degrees in DeLand, 77 degrees in Palm Coast. It is warm, warm, warm. First warning, live Doppler radar. Did have a little bit of rain. Like that much yesterday. Not enough to cool us down, though. And today is actually looking even drier. There are traumatic flashbacks for me of 1998 happening here. I'm not saying that this is that year. I'm not saying that this is going to be like that, but I'm having these little flashbacks of terror. 84 degrees by 9 o'clock. 89 degrees by 11 o'clock. 93 degrees by 1 p.m. and then we'll keep going and going from there. It is going to be hot, my friends. 97 degrees this afternoon. Yesterday, we even bested that. Yesterday afternoon, we hit 98 degrees, which made yesterday the hottest day we have seen thus far this year. The previous hottest was the day before at 97. So we're still in this stretch. And what's interesting is that this stretch is not just for one or two towns. This stretch is for basically all of our inland spots all week long. Take a look at our high temperature forecast for today, okay? Take a look. 97 in Orlando, Kissimmee. 98 degrees in Leesburg, the Villages, Wildwood, and Ocala. Once again, this is dangerous heat, people. Seriously. Average high temperature is 91. It's important to note this is not record-setting heat. The records are like triple digits. The records are like 100-ish, okay? But it doesn't, and here, I'll just show it to you. It doesn't change the fact that we're dangerous, right? So Orlando, 97, the forecast. The record goes back 101 years. Sanford, 95 is the forecast. The record goes back to 2010. And notice Leesburg, Daytona Beach, and Melbourne, those records go back to 98. And as I said, I'm getting these like scary 98 vibes just because it's like it's hot and dry. It's hot and dry. And it's not often that you make a forecast with so many. Like, think about it. 98 yesterday, 97 the day before. Look at what the next few days offer us. 97 for today, 97 for tomorrow, 97 degrees for Saturday. Again, not record-setting heat in Orlando, but this is absolutely the worst kind of heat, because it is truly dangerous. And I'm curious if you're struggling. I say you're struggling. If your air conditioner is struggling, I feel like several of my neighbors were complaining about not complaining. That sounds bad. We're commenting in our community's Facebook page about how their AC units were struggling to keep up. That it was just running all day and it was never getting down. So I'm curious, are you struggling with that heat and air conditioner factor? Because this is the kind of heat that it is very, very much so a dangerous thing. Rose says, I have yard work to do today. I do too, Rose, and I'm going to do it at dinner time. I'm going to do it, because you have to do it early or you have to do it late. You can't do it in the middle of the day, because this isn't even, think about it. 97 is only one part of the story. The feels like temperature is the other part of the story. So let's take a look at where those feels like temperatures go through the day, okay? Let's just start this at 9 o'clock. It already feels like 92 in Orlando, already feels like 95 degrees in the Villages. And we'll just keep going from there. 10, 11, 12 o'clock. It's already into the triple digit feels like temperatures across many locations of Central Florida, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. 108 feels like temperature in Ocala at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Shauna says it's disgusting heat. Barb says we're going to be brain fried. I would just say that anything that you can do to stay cool, the backyard swimming pool, the beach. I am not going to judge if you turn on the hose and just put it over your head. A cold bath, a cold shower, anything to stay cool. Because look at the pool. Obviously, the pool forecast is great. What I'm personally concerned for, if I'm honest with you, is the people that are going out to Epcot or Universal Studios that are not from around here. Because this is, how many adjectives can we come up with, right? But this is that kind of heat. And that, truthfully, is a concern. Guinea says, yes, my AC never turns off. My AC is working overtime and house can't stay at 78, 79. Jessica says, my AC is over 20 years old. I hope not. Ay. It's struggling and it's brand new. Super muggy in the house, too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's 2 years old, right? I drove from Maitland to Lake County yesterday and it took almost the whole way for my car's AC to cool down. This is not... Right? This is not normal. We've talked about this. This is not normal. It's not quite to records, but this is not normal, truthfully. And so that's why for today, temperatures and UV index, that is a big concern. No, we're not talking about big thunderstorms, so your weather isn't going to play in massively, but like golfing or heading to the attractions or any one of these things, concerning. Alejandra says, yesterday my AC couldn't get under 76 until midnight. Yeah. Frank says they should try insulation. It helps keep the cool in. You know what's interesting, though? My neighborhood is all spray foam insulation on the houses, and my neighbors were struggling. Now, granted, I do wonder if the builder put smaller AC units in because of the insulation, trying to kind of cheat the system or what have you. But whatever it is, AC set to 74 and it cycles on and off. Jessica says, I turn my AC up to 79 during the day, down to 73 at night. Usually it doesn't ever kick on during the day. I would say, I do the same thing, Jessica. I would say keep the AC at a bit higher level during the day and then just run ceiling fans. Because, you can't count on, you can, but it's going to struggle to do it. This is that kind of heat, This is just struggling heat. But if you look at, again, the Saharan air layer, and this is one of those products we use a lot for tropics, kind of lets you know, for example, the Gulf of Mexico is completely inundated in Saharan dust. But if we look to the peninsula, there's a bunch of Saharan dust over us, and it is that Saharan dust that's helping to really dry up the atmosphere. Yeah. Yep. Brian says, my AC is working fine. I keep my thermostat at 80, and I also get my AC service twice a year. I do the same. As a matter of fact, my AC servicing Um, I think it's next. Yeah, it's next Thursday, the 23rd, a week from today, from 8 a.m. to noon. I've got Del Air coming out, and again, um, I'm not advocating for Del Air. It's the company that I use. I still pay full price, so this is not an advertisement at all. But no matter what, I think that it's not a bad investment to have an AC company come out twice a year, check your unit, make sure your unit is in operation, because what you don't want is a day like today and the unit die. That would be horrible. Yeah. Truthfully. When will we break this heat wave? So let's take a look at the overall surface perspective, right? So here we are. It is disgustingly hot. Mid and upper level atmosphere, this big ridge over top of us about halfway up the atmosphere. It's just sitting over us. Now, Friday into Saturday, you can see there's that little cold front helping to start up with the shower and thunderstorm chances. And Saturday into Sunday, it looks like we're going to start to transition out just a little bit. But for today, for tomorrow, for Saturday, 97 is the high temperature forecast. After that, take a look. Sunday into Monday into Tuesday, it looks like we're going to start to drop off. But my concern, frankly, Tuesday into Wednesday, you can see the temperatures are sitting at 92, 93 on the 7-day. I'd be willing to bet that those numbers start to come up. Right now, we're being a little conservative with it, just to wait and see how the playing out of models plays out. Boy, that's not proper English at all. But that's kind of where we're at. As we've looked at on the National Blend of models, yeah. Next week looks to be hot as well. Janice says, I'm not normal. Let's see here. When will the heat wave break? So, yeah. So it looks like this weekend rain chances do go up. But, again, it's, is it enough? Right? Yeah. I use my ceiling fans, too. I would say, Anne, it uses a lot less electricity to run the ceiling fans. And feeling parabled from this fugly heat wave. That's funny. Yeah. It's not an easy one. It's not going to stay. I usually just have to wedge it up with something. Don't worry about it. Midwest struggling with heat. Also, we keep air conditioning on. Strange weather brought tornadoes yesterday. Well, Monica, you could look at that on the LRC for sure. By the way, there's a big weather conference, and then we'll get into the tropics too. There's a big weather conference going on in Milwaukee right now. It's the American Meteorological Society conference. That's where Manolfi is. And the L from the LRC, Gary Lezak, is up there presenting today on the LRC, and practiced on me this morning. It's quite an informative presentation. Quite an informative presentation. He's talking about tropics too. Yeah, so there you go. We still have to get him on Coffee Talk. We'll do that. The heat has just begun. It will get much hotter this summer. I mean, Rose, I don't know that I would say it would get much hotter. Like, we usually, upper 90s to about 100 is about our peak. So this is, I don't know that I would go so far as to say it's going to get much hotter. It'll get hot. Yeah. You only need a ceiling fan for the room you occupy. That's true. That's true. And I would say that a ceiling fan, just by having the air blowing around, it does make it feel cooler. So it's, I like it. I like it. Today is the start of vacay, but hi, everyone. Jenny, good morning. Thanks for hanging with us. Is it the big AMS conference, Carolyn's asking? They used to happen in January. It is it's the AMS broadcast conference. Yeah, so all of my weather friends, I don't want to say all of them. A bunch of them are up there. Usually you've got like one person per station, and it's usually the Chiefs. They like to hog that one up. That's fine. I've got my weather conference is coming up in July. I'm going to Boston. We'll still do Coffee Talk. I think. I don't even know. Sugar. I didn't even look to see what time the sessions start. Can we do Coffee Talk? Oh, yeah. Breakfast is at 8:30 to 9, so we can still do Coffee Talk. presentations don't start until 9. So, yeah. What about the next day? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we'll still be able to do Coffee Talk. My conference is July 19th, 20th, 24th, that week. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I get to go to Boston. That's always fun. Anyway, all right. So that's where we're at. Say hi to Harvey for me. Oh, it'll be fun. Oh, I'm definitely going to WCVB, Carolyn, for sure. I've already set that one up. I definitely will be going in, and wouldn't it be fun to get some WCVB people on there for Coffee Talk? I'd like that. All right, so we know it's hot. We know it's dangerously hot. When I say, though, that this is triggering concerns of 1998, we're not in the same weather pattern, but there is kind of an interesting parallel. This week, if our forecast plays out, we will have 5 days of temperatures at or above 97 degrees. And if that holds up, it will be the longest stretch of that heat in years, decades, as a matter of fact. The last time we had 5 days at or above 97 was in 1998. Now, 98 was an El Nino year, so we favored drier, hotter air. We're not in an El Nino year technically this year. I mean, tell that to where we're at right now in the weather picture, though. But we did 2 stretches of 5 or more days at or above 97 in 1998. There's a lot of numbers there. But, it's been 24 years since we've had this kind of a stretch of temperatures this hot, this long. Carolyn says, say hi to AJ. Well, that's the guy that I said... You're so connected, Carolyn. AJ's the guy that I actually talk to all the time. He's my buddy. And yeah, AJ has assured me that I'm coming into WCVB. So he's my point of contact when I work with them. Do you know him, Carolyn? What a crazy small world. AJ's my buddy. Fun fact, when we were working on this graphics package, we flew AJ down into Orlando to help me out. AJ's my buddy. Brian says, tell Tony to bring back the cooler temperatures from Milwaukee. I would also caution you, though, they've been having tornado warnings up there. So if he does one, he would have to do the other. So maybe we let them keep that. It's not even that cool up there. You'll be gone during the LRC cycle for July, the Floor Easter. Is it? I didn't schedule this conference. So I didn't even look. Is it the Floor Easter? Let me look. Hold on a second. If it is, I didn't even think... I planned my vacations around, but when this conference came up, I didn't. 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God. That's funny. It's not funny. That is funny. Well, see, this is where my brain is. I schedule my vacations, but when the conference comes up, we just book it. That is very funny. I have to text Manoffee real fast. So, a viewer just pointed out that my WSI conference up in Boston falls right in the Floor Easter recycle in July. Let's start taking bets if I actually make it to Boston this year. That's funny. Thank you for that comedy. Tina, so astute of you. What's causing this heat? Yeah, it's I'll show you. Let's get a little analytical, shall we? Give me a second. Okay. So what's causing this heat? Upper air heights. All right. So this is the 500 millibar height anomaly. So halfway up the atmosphere, what you're looking for is ridging. If the air is sinking at 500, it compresses here at the surface and it heats. It's called compressional heating. So you see that yellow there over us? That is why we're hot. So let's follow the model through time. Notice that starts to move out top right corner Saturday. That's why we're starting to break that heat bubble on Saturday, right? Then look what happens into next week. The ridging starts to work back in, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It doesn't look at this point to be quite as bad, but that upper level high still is over us. So with that said, that big upper ridge would help with that compressional heating, which would help with building in the dangerous weather. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Tina, I can't believe that. You cracked me up this morning. Seriously. Carolyn says, no, WCVB is just the best station. Oh, it is. It is one of the greatest local stations in the country. And I'm happy to say that their news director, Margaret Cronin, is great. Their general manager is Kyle Grimes. He was my news director in West Palm. They've got an unbelievable group of people in the leadership team there. Jenny says, I'll be on a ship in the Caribbean that week. Yukon says it will be fine. There are 4 other meteorologists to cover. Well, Yukon, it doesn't work like that. When there's tropical stuff, it's all hands on deck. That's number 1. Number 2, it's work for me. It's not like it's vacation. Even if it was vacation, they'd cancel it. But with it being work, it's a work trip, they're 100%. If there's something, going to cancel it. Carolyn, if it looks like something will hit here, will you stay here or come back? 100%. Yeah, I will not be in Boston at a weather conference while there's a threat in Florida. That's not in the way my heart works. And I can tell you, my boss, Stephanie, would be like, hey, Burris. Ebony, my assistant news director, would say, you're going to hate me. And it's like, no, like the last time when I got called in, it's like, no, I pretty much know where this call's going. You know? Yukon, if Wesh would let you hire a valet, I'm happy to apply for the job to be your personal assistant. Oh, wouldn't that be so fun? Yeah. Jenna says we're a smart group. I'm impressed. Look, being smart is one thing. Being astute, I'd like to think I'm a fairly intelligent person, but astute, I am not. Aaron, maybe the Florista can occur a couple of days afterward if you're lucky. That's true. Remember, the LRC cycles forward and backward, so it would be nice to get that to maybe delay a little bit or happen a little bit earlier, that sort of thing. Yeah. Bruce, the students school the teacher. Just think of the Darth Vader scene at the end of A New Hope. Now I am the master. You know. I don't like compressional heating. Nope. Oh, I agree. This is gross. Kristen, still watching the tropics at the end of the month? Yes. Let's look. Is there something forming off the mid-Atlantic in that run? Well, let's look and see what's doing in the tropics. Let's minimize you. Switch from the 500 down to this is the surface. Okay, so this is the GFS. Top left corner, GFS initialized 6Z, so it's the most recent run. MSLP norm anomaly, mean sea level pressure normalized anomaly. Very cool. Hold on, Manolfi just texted back. Okay, so Manolfi just texted back and said, sounds like my trip to Boston. 1 day, and then I had to return. And yeah, hopefully the Florista comes early, late, or not at all, though that is the big cycle for it. Okay, all right, sorry, texting Manolfi. No offense to y'all, but chief's the chief. All right, here we are. Mean sea level pressure anomaly. Orange colors, drier, stable air. The greens and blues and purples, that's moist air, not stable air. First off, let's just point out, you see where it says current temp 80? Look just above that, nearing like Belize in the Yucatan. That is the little Invest 93 that could. It just doesn't look like it's going to develop, which is totally cool with me. Models have definitely backed off. You can see, though, right... well, actually, you can't see it, but out in the Pacific Basin... Here, I'll just scroll that down. You can see right where it says between Sanford and current temp, that big L, there is a system. It's a hurricane in the Pacific. Not a threat to us. All right, let's continue through time. The 20th... the 21st. Now you can kind of start to see the GFS is trying to do what it's always doing, trying to develop something out there. There is a part of the pattern, though, that fits this. So there's that. Now it kind of wants to bring a weakish system over toward Texas. You see that, though, on the East Coast? Oh, now that's something. Okay, we know that late this month the East Coast should have something of a system out east. I kind of interested. Let me just back this up. It's a little delayed, but there's the GFS trying to form it. I'm going to tell you, as crazy as it sounds, that's a little late, but that's in the area that we expect some sort of tropical development. I forgot he's in Milwaukee in Central Time. He's like, I'm jumping in the shower. We're an hour behind you guys. I'm like, ah, crap. I hope I didn't wake you, Manolfi. All right. So anyway, end of the month. That's interesting. That's fairly new. We'll have to watch and see how that plays out. Let's just go back a model run to the 0Z. Not really showing it. Let's look over at the European. See what the European is showing. Stand by. European also not really developing anything down into Central America. That's 90 hours. Let's switch from the 12Z over to the 0Z. Manolfi, by the way, said I did not wake him up. He's keeping his mental clock on Eastern time, which I wish that I could respond. We always knew you were mental clock. All right. Here's Tuesday the 21st. Still showing lowering pressures out east. I think that that's onto something. It's not trying to really get anything developed, but look at that. Interesting. By like the 26th, something around the Bahamas. Not anything too deep or organized, but that fits into the LRC. So both models are now starting like the 26th through the 29th, starting to hint at lowering pressures around Florida. My friends, that lines up exactly with our June output on the LRC. I've got to get Lezak on here these next couple days. He just announced his retirement, so he's busy. There's two features in that same time frame. You're not going to get both of them, but for now it looks like the Florida one would be the kind of predominant pattern, and then maybe the Mid-Atlantic one the next time. Yeah, I mean the 24th, 25th, 26th, that times out, and if you look at the European, that's the 26th, and it's got lowering pressure. It's nothing terribly organized, but it does have lowering pressure out there. So something to look at, something to consider. It fits the pattern, and anytime anything fits the pattern, it's kind of like, all right, well, let's take a double look at that, right? Right? That's the way I look at it. All right. That said, let's put it together. For now, 7-day forecast, just dangerous hot. Yeah, 97. That's like terrible. Eric is always here for us. Thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. Brian, weather history question. In past trends, when it has been wickedly hot in the atmosphere in early to mid-June, does that usually mean we're going to be in for an extremely active hurricane season in July or August? Remember, water temperatures ebb and flow much slower than air temperatures. So this is a heat wave. But I would say, here we are June 16th. Like, let's make a mental note of this, okay? 64 days from now. What is 64 days from now? 64 days from today is August 19th. So let's do this just for fun. It's been a couple days, so let's say August 15th. Let's go in our phones and go to August 15th. And let's just add a new event together. Big heat wave, question mark. And then in the notes, ties back to June 14th. 97 degrees, 98 degrees. All right, let's put that in together. Is that goofy? Big heat wave. We're going to put that in around August 15th. Let's see. Let's see if that plays out. That's the most likely thing, is that we would have mid-August, right about the time the students are back to school, we'd have a massive heat wave again. Remember, it's all a cycle, right? There is chaos in the atmosphere, but there is organization to the chaos. Yep. Jessica says the GFS is always throwing CAGs at us. I just love that you say that, like a proud weather nerd papa. Yeah, it's crazy. Can you show the BSR in that time frame? Yeah, give me a second. BSR. Give me 2 seconds. North Pacific surface analysis. So what is that? The 24th of June, right? Coming up. So that'd be June 7th on the BSR. Oh my gosh, I need glasses. Look at that right there. You see that? That's it. You see that right there? Look in the Gulf. There, 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 there. Yeah, there's low pressure cruising through. You see that there? Yep. It's not a huge indicator, but it's there. So the answer is yes. It's showing up. Okay. Good times. You can't make that up. Yeah. All right. All right. Listen, that's all I got. Be safe today. Do not leave your kids or your pets in the car. Be safe. Please be safe. Please be safe, okay? All right. We'll talk again today. Huh? Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you at 3:30 for the afternoon Coffee Talk. Bye, y'all.